Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan 'abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. Honorable judges and all my beloved brothers, how are you guys? I wish you're all in a good health. Before I start, inshallah, in today's speech I'm going to be talking with an imperfect British accent. It sounds quite different than American accent, or maybe I mixed up both accents. Anyways, have you guys known me already? There's a saying that if you don't know a person, how can you love that person? Therefore, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Fadhil Hasan. You can call me Fadhil, Hasan, or even Seti. Yeah, it's my Chinese name. So, in this opportunity, I will share some of my thoughts of making this pandemic has an advantage for ourselves on a title: the internet as a place to improve one's quality during a pandemic. My beloved brothers, I think this pandemic is bringing a lot of suffering and sadness everywhere. Every day we often hear 1,000 people who died from this COVID-19. In fact, not infrequently, we also hear from people closest to us, such as friends, neighbor, or even our own families whose lives were taken by the COVID-19. A few weeks ago, my mom and my dad were tested positive for the coronavirus, but luckily, I and my little sister were tested negative, alhamdulillah. But after that, we both had to move to our grandma's house in order to protect ourselves from catching the virus. You can imagine, 9 years ago, which is my little sister, had to separate from her parents due to this COVID. For me, it was so sad. Okay, stop the sad story. Now we move to all talk. We believe that behind difficulties, there's a convenience. Every suffer has gain, and every sadness has hope. The same case with pandemic. Even if our movement is limited, even if we are required to adhere to super strict health protocols, it doesn't mean that we lose hope. We forget that we can still connect even though we not meet each other. We can still talk if we don't face to face. Yup, of course, right, because the internet. The internet is the best power that we have now to against this pandemic. Why? If you ask me why, these are the answers. With the internet, we can find out what happens out there by staying at home. We don't need to go outside looking for some newspapers which can make us infected by the virus. You just need to stay on your laptop, on the internet, searching for news that you're looking for. My beloved brothers, back to the mind talk. The points that I mentioned earlier are the general use of the internet. So, what about us, students? What are the benefits of the internet for us? Well, sadly I can say that 80% of students don't know how to use the internet properly. Or, even they know but they won't. According to a study researched by psychiatric specialist from Lipo Village, Dr. Christiana and her team to 2,933 Indonesian teenagers. Dr. Christian explained internet addiction in adolescents increased by 90.3%, with an average duration of playing the internet for 11.3 hours per day during a pandemic. When I first heard that, I was shocked. Like, what? 11 hours per day is like half a day. But back again, this statement was not wrong at all, right? However, it's not a big deal as long as we use the internet properly. It's time to dive the internet deeply. Not just the news, but we can also learn from the internet. It reminds me of a person named 𝐷𝐗𝐺𝐻. So he was a YouTuber, an influencer who can speak over 5 languages, and he learned all of those languages from the internet. Fascinating. It was so mind-blowing. After watching all his videos, I got inspired, and at that time I started realizing the internet can be super useful if we wanted it to be useful too. Likewise, we can be 𝐷𝐗𝐺𝐻 version of ourselves. Go learn something on the internet, improve your knowledge. Don't just lie all day in your bed. It's not the youth should be. Go wake up. Improve your knowledge, improve your skills, abilities. Prepare yourself for the future. Therefore, I'm asking all of you guys to use the positive sides of the internet. Whether it can be denied that the internet also has a negative sides, but the knives depend on the holder, right? That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.